Man postpones retirement to save reefs after he accidentally discovers how to make coral grow 40 times faster.
Here's a summary of the article.
One man's happy accident has brought new hope to the recovery of coral reefs around the world. He had been trying to remove a coral from the bottom of a tank when it broke into a dozen pieces. To his shock, all of the pieces regrew to the same size in just 3 short weeks, as opposed to the 3 years it had taken to grow the original coral. Ordinarily, it takes coral reefs between 25 to 75 years to reach sexual maturity. This means that it can take up to 6 years just to plant 600 coral, but Vaughn's process of breaking up corals for reproduction, which is called microfragmenting, helps them to grow 40 times faster than they do in the wild. Their tests showed that it works with every single species of coral found in the Florida Reef. The method is so efficient, the researchers are reportedly producing coral faster than they can get tanks to hold them.
This post received a score of 33,144, with an upvote ratio of 88%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I've met Dr. Vaughn a number of times and toured his new facility. A pretty interesting story but years old.
Yeah, hobbyists have been fragmenting coral for decades now.
Microfragging is cutting up a coral into numerous small fragments and letting them grow back together by filling in the space between each fragment. Corals grow from the margin, so increasing the marginal area increases the overall growth rate. The value is primarily in that it allows for much more rapid growth of bolder corals, in which slow growth rate has been a limiting factor in restoration efforts. Edit. I should note that microfragging also seems to induce the coral frags to grow faster than a Laval coral settling would.
That makes a lot of sense and is easy to explain too. Thanks.
To truly be an expert in one's field, you must be able to explain things in simple terms. Even the most beautiful literature does this. It's what makes any writing beautiful. Thank you, you, ichthyologist.
Sometimes though, it's not the explanation, it is language itself that doesn't have the words for incredibly complex phenomena, and instead, we need visualization.
2118, Earth overrun by unstoppable coral formations.
I, for one, welcome our new coral overlords.
Aquaman approves.
Fishboy on TV.
Seaman.
It doesn't matter how fast you can get coral to grow if the oceans are too warm and too acidic for them to survive.
Corals make calcium carbonate by combining calcium ions and dissolved carbon dioxide. Maybe massive new coral reefs could help reduce ocean acidification. Edit. Apparently, as you, alkali activated, pointed out below, the reaction that creates the calcium carbonate that forms the coral structure liberates 2H+ ions and thus actually makes the water more acidic, so my idea stinks. Here's a short but interesting article related to this topic. The TLDR is that coral growth increases acidity, but coral seems to be okay with it.
Wouldn't that just lower the concentration of calcium ions in the ocean, though? They act as a buffer, so when they're gone the ocean will be more acidic. Edit. I did some research. From what I understand, there's too much carbonic acid to completely dissociate. Instead of splitting into 2 hydrogen ions and a carbonate ion, they split into a single hydrogen ion and a hydrogen carbonate ion. Coral needs both calcium and carbonate to grow.
Just make a worldwide law that all dead need to be dug up after less than time needed for family to grief and flesh to fully decompose greater than and their skeleton ground up and tossed into the ocean. We owe it to the planet laughing face.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.